Coming soon to an area near you. Oh wait, that's only if you live in the Pacific Northwest and specifically Seattle. We have an amazing event coming up in Seattle area, September 11th and 12th. But you're going to want to know more about this event so we can get you to come. So to do that, we're going to be interviewing a special guest today. This girl is so amazing. You're not going to believe how amazing this girl is. So stay tuned. We're going to grab her, we're going to bring her out, and you're going to get to know the one and only Grace Kelly. I'm so glad you made it.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Come on in. So, for those of you who don't know, this is the true Grace Kelly.
Hey.
I know you might have thought she was some famous movie actress, things like that. No, this is the all-time original Grace Kelly. Those of you who don't know, in my former life, I was a teacher. Grace Kelly used to be one of my students. Now, her name wasn't Kelly then. Those of you that recognize her, it used to be Simbeck, her maiden name. Kelly is her married name. So the amazing thing about that is, although I had the opportunity and pleasure of teaching her, I think biology and was in on some government and business financial stuff with her, she went on to do some even more amazing things. And that is get out and enjoy life. And not necessarily follow the typical pathway that everybody else does. So we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to get to meet some amazing people in our area that we also have relationships with. And we couldn't do that without introducing you guys to Grace Kelly. So Grace, tell me, what is it that you're doing right now that everybody is going to want to know about?
I've started my own business designing repurposed purses, and there's other fashion stuff I'm planning on getting into eventually in the future. And I also alter clothes for people. So I do wedding gowns. I've done everything from hemming pants for people who don't want to hem their pants to like bustling wedding dresses.
Yes, awesome. Well, and if you knew her in school, you knew she always had her own unique sense of style, which is amazing.
Oh, yes.
And has definitely carried her far into this. But I'm curious, why on earth would you choose to start a business when you could just go out there and get a job and do what everybody else does?
Well, okay, so I had a job like everybody else does, and I went from, things like when you first get out of high school and you're flipping burgers and making pizzas, to an office job, which is a little bit better sometimes, better pay, better hours, but super boring because you're sitting there like taking orders from other people and typing up things, and like it's work and you get paid, but it's not something that you necessarily like love to do.
Yeah.
And then I actually got into the bridal business world, and I was a wedding dress consultant for a bit, and I loved that because it dealt with clothes, and I love designing clothes. I love like playing with dresses. It's always been something that I liked. So that was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of like living up to everybody else's expectations and everyone else's standards and goals that they'd set for me that they were holding me to. But also just, I had some ideas and vision in my own head that I wanted to see it come out. So that's why I kind of just branched off on my own, and it turned around from being like, ugh, I have to get up and go to work today, to like, yeah, I get to get up and go to work today and work for myself and make these beautiful, gorgeous things that I love to make and put smiles on people's faces because they appreciate them too.
That's very true. Well, and did you guys hear that? She chose to not do what everybody else does because she had no passion for it. She had no interest for it. It was not motivating to her. And so she had to think outside the box and do something different that would work in her situation. So she dug deep and asked herself, what do I like to do? What do I enjoy doing? So she looked at all of her past experiences and said, oh, well, I like clothes and I like design and I like making people happy and things. So that's what kind of led her to the direction that she's gone. But would you say it's easier or harder running your own business?
It is definitely harder. You can show up to a job and perform, at your minimal performance level and still go home with a paycheck at the end of the day. I get up and I work probably more than your normal 8-hour shift, and I don't make money unless I put every ounce into it that I can.
Correct. Well, and with that being said, do you also find that if you have dare I say, an entitled attitude. You can still end up with a paycheck and still get paid. But as an entrepreneur, if you have that same entitled attitude, your business goes nowhere.
No. It's a lot of skills, and it's not just, so when you're working another job, you're hired to do that one skill, okay? Your job is to sell dresses or to put those toppings on that pizza, okay? You're not managing, you're not counting the till, you're not dealing with employees in the workplace or promoting business elsewhere. I wear all of the hats myself. I am my financial bookkeeper, bill payer person. I am the only employee, and I manage the only employee. I'm the person in charge of like the sales goals and like how is that going, and I'm the person that reaches out to potential clients and goes and finds new business. Like I wear all of those hats by myself, and I'm production. Like I cut and sew all of this stuff on my own. I don't just draw up the fun pictures. That's another thing in the design world. Like when you're in a group of designers, like there's someone who draws, someone who cuts, someone who sews, someone who like pins up the models and stuff like that. And those are all different jobs, but I like, because I'm freelancing on my own, I do all of it.
Right. And so one of the things that we don't often stop and realize is that owning a business isn't like what you see on TV. You see those flipping houses and everybody's like, oh, you flip houses. Oh, I could do that. That'd be so much fun. And they make it all look like it happens in 30 minutes and you made all these great profits, and they don't stop to take into account that it really took you 6 months and there was a ton of other team members involved and a lot of moving parts and a lot of sleepless nights or long days if deadlines weren't being met, things like that, as well as the creative side, right? You still have to come up and have the energy to do all of that. And so the cool thing about this is you are a true entrepreneur. There's one thing with starting a side gig as a hobby, but a true entrepreneur looks beyond that and is that visionary. So where do you see your business going in the next 5 years?
Well, kind of the deeper vision, I guess, of where this all started is, I don't know, kind of starts like way back when I was a lot younger. But I actually wanted to be designing dresses and like producing like bridal gowns and everyday kind of dresses, mostly for like women who prefer to like cover their arms or like have those longer skirts. For some women, that's not what makes them feel good about their bodies, but for other women, like that's a really big deal, and that's hard to find sometimes. So that was like the vision that kind of got me started, and this is just where I've begun. But I have plans to expand everywhere. And that's eventually where I want to be. I would like to right now I work out of my sewing room at home. So eventually, yeah, I would love to have a storefront. I'd love to have other people like applying my designs. So basically like I would design it, they go make the mock-up and I'll approve it, and someone else will manage my other stuff.
Production.
You know, I would love to just be managing and designing eventually. Probably a long ways down the road, but that's the plan.
Well, and that just goes right along with in the business industry. An entrepreneur, you don't start out that way. You start out doing the technician, which is all of those roles.
Exactly.
Right? That E-Myth book is an amazing book that talks about that. You're doing all those, and that's where you're at that phase, right? In the next phase, you're going to move up into that management role, and that management role is where you're managing that production line, and you're managing this, and you're managing that, and then you're going to hire a manager to do that, and then you'll step up, and it'll truly be a business that you're just calling the shots and running this and running point on all of these things and basically putting that vision back into focus. And so that's amazing that you've got that vision. That's what a true entrepreneur is. And that's one of the things that we want to showcase here. American Made Home Solutions, part of creating sustainability with our mission statement is allowing other businesses to thrive and grow. We don't have a scarcity mentality. So we're not opposed to another business, you know, whether they're a rehabber, whether they're a realtor, whether they're a title and escrow company. We're not opposed to other businesses existing and being in the same markets we're in. Not at all, because that actually helps all of us. We all work together, we're all stronger together. And so that's one of the benefits that we want to continue to showcase. And people like you, Grace, are an amazing resource, because what people don't realize is America was founded on small business. It wasn't founded on corporate America. It was founded on small business. And to make America great again, we have to continue to educate people and get them to understand what they're seeing on TV isn't necessarily reality. Even though they call it reality TV, it's still made for TV. So we actually have friends and mentors and coaches who've been on those TV shows, and they tell you flat out, oh no, the production team wanted us to do this. They tried to pick fights. They did this to try to create what they wanted to showcase to people. And so even though you see it on TV, it's not necessarily reality. It is hard work when you're an entrepreneur, but would you say that the rewards are worth it?
Oh, definitely. I was telling Bethany earlier, just the other day, I put all this effort into this. There's this purse I made that was really pretty, and I loved it, and I was so sad to see it go, because they're all like my babies. But anyway, I had shipped it off, and there's its own funny story with that, because I was weighing it and like tripped and fell on my face. It was like a rough day, okay? But I shipped that purse off, and it got to the customer in Florida, and the next day I get this review, and like, I think I had just gotten back from a meeting with somebody. It was like already an early morning. I was reading it, and I just like set the tone for my day, because they were just so thrilled to get it. They were like, I've been looking for this. It just reminds me of this purse I once had that I absolutely loved, and they like had those like old feelings for this new purse, and they were just so excited to get it, and they're like, it's functional and it's quality, and I love finding things like this. And just knowing that someone felt that way about my work made me feel satisfied with all the hard work I put into it every day. Just knowing that all of those moments and all those experiences and all that blood, sweat, and tears adds up to something good and made a moment in someone else's life.
Absolutely. And that's the same thing for us. We don't do custom homes. Why? Because we believe there's a need for affordable housing far greater than custom homes. And when we're able to hand over keys to a brand new homeowner who maybe couldn't have afforded the home before, and then when they see the quality that we've given them, they're overwhelmed with joy and excitement. We do some rent-to-own options, things like that, where they wouldn't be able to come and get a loan because they're an entrepreneur. You can't necessarily get a loan in the same traditional standing. And so we're able to give them keys to their home that they're able to purchase, and the joy that comes over them is just, and to be a part of that, you know, when we're able to save someone out of foreclosure and bankruptcy, it's amazing. And that is what helps us sleep at night, knowing we have a role and we play a part, and it's a bigger picture. It's not just us, and it's not about the profits. It's definitely people first. And so with that being said, you have a line, I would say a whole separate line within yours that's kind of geared towards bridal parties, bridal things like that. And isn't this one of yours?
This is one of them. This is probably my favorite one.
All right, so show us. This is just one example.
Okay. Okay, so this is my champagne purse. So all of these purses, by the way, I should have included this when I was talking about my vision. So I kind of started this out because I was making my own purse because my other purse had died and I couldn't find a new purse that I really liked, and having a purse that I love is important to me. So anyway, I made a new one, and they're all made out of repurposed material. Sometimes I add like a little bit of new materials into them to just make them sustainable product, so this isn't going to fall apart in like the first month of you wearing it. So obviously like frames are new, the chains are new, I put new zippers and everything, things like that, to just kind of dress them up and make them modern. But there are so many resources in this world that are being wasted because material gets used once or twice and then thrown out, and it gets to the Goodwill, and when the Goodwill gets overloaded, they just get rid of it, you know. So I like to reuse that kind of stuff. But anyway, so there it is. It's got this nice crossbody strap that comes off, so it can be like a little carry clutch, or you can wear it over your shoulder. I even wear these with jeans sometimes, but yeah, they make for great bridal accessories for like your pictures or your bridesmaids. And they look really small, but I actually have like my phone in here, my wallet, my keys.
I feel like this is the Mary Poppins purse. She just keeps
my
pulling
great
out
pile
more.
of business cards.
More
and, it's
and
all
more.
shiny and pretty inside. I like to make them kind of like a surprise when you open them. So like, oh, it's pretty on the outside, but look at the inside. You know, so.
Well, and the
that's
nice part, so we were talking about this before, and you guys don't necessarily always get the backdrop behind this, and we were talking about this, and my first question is, why on earth would a bride be wearing a purse? And two questions came up. First, we both said we wouldn't.
We wouldn't.
But there are people that are. You know, they wear those really cute dresses, and they have the high-low skirts so they can show off their boots, and then they wear the hats. So there are some brides that are very accessory oriented. So we could clearly see them wearing a purse.
Oh yeah.
But others are the bridal party.
Oh yeah. Well, because we were talking about too, like we wouldn't wear a purse because like you just give your phone and your chapstick and whatever to your bridesmaids, right? But where are they gonna put it? Because we all know
there's no pockets.
They're starting to make bridal dresses with pockets, but they still haven't caught up with the bridesmaids yet. So like, where are they gonna put it? And there's like so many color options and like cool, and it's just a fun way to dress up your bridesmaid's dress. And then Bethany was even mentioning that like it makes for a nice way to reuse that bridesmaid's dress later, because sometimes you only wear it once. But if you've got a cute purse to wear with it and a full outfit going, like heck, wear it to that other event later.
Right, and more now. Again, if you were like me, you had multiple bridesmaids dresses, and it's like, what am I going to do with this? Well, when you get into the world and you have events and different things, if you have something else to go with it, if you know, because sometimes those shoes don't necessarily work in another one, but people are making different choices in their wedding parties attire now. So they're trying to be mindful of that. So one of the things that's amazing is Grace is going to have the opportunity here to customize. So for instance, if your colors, I have seen this, it's an amazing, we've seen it done where they do black and hot pink or black and red. And so if those were your colors for your wedding party, Grace could design a purse that tied in those specific colors, so all of your girls would have a matching accessory, and then you would have the perfect gift for them because they would be able to keep it afterwards. The same could be done for different hair pieces that she does. She also does earrings and bracelets, correct?
Yep. And they're all made out of like recycled jewelry I pulled apart.
Nice. Okay, so she can also tie in different colors and things like that. But it's also an opportunity to reinvest in your own area, because again, just like you said, these things are sitting in storehouses and dumps and in warehouses. She's not going to the dump. That's not what I'm referring to. But what's happening is there's such a surplus of these materials that are just sitting there, and they don't know what to do with it. So they're literally just dumping it or burning it, or sometimes even sending them to other couhes, things like that.
Which is a great reuse form, actually.
Yeah.
I actually have had enough people, once I started doing this, a lot of my friends started being like, oh, you recycle these clothes? Here, let me take this bag I was going to take to the Goodwill, and I'll just give it to you. And I have actually gone to like the Goodwills with those big giant buckets and like dug through the buckets for all the colors I'm looking for and things like that. So it is a lot more work to be, you know, earth conscious and sustainable in your sourcing and things like that, but it is possible, and I think that's a lesson we need to be learning.
Right. Well, and so how many of you guys have heard of the old adage, something borrowed, something blue? Okay, so if you're getting married, oftentimes you might have grandma's wedding dress, or you might have a favorite piece of a purse or a color that you found,
or
a
like
swatch.
a prom dress that you can never wear again.
Right, or maybe the prom dress that you wore when your first date with your new groom, right? She could actually take parts of that and turn it into something like this purse, or something like that, like if it was grandma's dress, but most of the dress is really in not good shape, but certain pieces of it are, she could turn that into something. And how much more useful and how much more meaningful is it that way than trying to wear grandma's dress that you don't like at all, that may have been very stylish at the times, but is now
all the beads and sequins are all yellowed.
Yes, and they're not very pretty right now, but you want that memento. And so she is able to do that and do an amazing job at it. This is just one of the many products that she has. You'll see down below, there's other products that she has that we'll put some clips up there for you to see. But one of the events that we wanted to tell you about that is coming to the Pacific Northwest is an event called Raw Artists, and it's happening December 11th and 12th. And it's going to be down in Seattle. So we're going to put the link down below, but I'm going to tell it to you just in case you don't want to look and you like to write it as I'm telling you. So it's www.rawartists.com/Grace Kelley, Kelley Designs. Now, when you go there, you have the opportunity to purchase tickets to the event. It is an event that you have to purchase tickets for, but this is not your typical art show. This is not your typical craft fair. So, Grace, why don't you explain a little bit more about what this whole raw thing is? Because it was new to me.
Yeah, no, it was new to me too. I kind of stumbled on it by total accident, but it was actually started by an artist. He's a musician. I don't know where in the United States he's from, but it's not an event that only happens in Washington. The event actually travels throughout the country, and kind of his mission is to find those raw, natural, talented people who aren't being seen and kind of give them a moment of limelight to kind of just show people what they can do. So it's not like, it's not like you're walking through an art museum kind of thing. Like, there's a live band on the stage, showcasing obviously like our musicians. There's a runway with all of the fashion designers, and then you get like your visual artists and your accessory artists. So there's a lot going on. It's definitely like a visual auditory experience.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it sounds like it's at a venue that you can show up in jeans and a t-shirt if you want, but they encourage you to dress a little bit. It sounds a little bit more like it would be more of an event filled with fun and excitement. You and your girlfriends, you and your boyfriend, whatever, show up. You want to have a good evening. You're going to be
kind of a nice get out and dress up kind
yeah.
of evening. And how often do you get an opportunity for that?
Right. So you get to hear some great music. You get to see some possible new upcoming trends. But you also get to have the opportunity to purchase, because they'll have vendors like you, so they'll have a vendor area.
Yep. All of the visual and accessory artists are there, like usually selling their stuff also at their booth. So you can go and purchase some really unique things that you probably wouldn't otherwise see.
Correct. So if you're like me, unfortunately, I will be out of town at that time. But if you're like me, you're going to be able to go to, Grace has her own website as well. So I'm going to give you that website. It will be listed down below here, so you'll be able to see that for those of you that want to just click on it. But for those of you who want to, again, write it down, here it is. It is www.etsy, that's etsy.com/shop/Grace Kelley, Kelley designs. Now, if you click on that link, it'll take you right to her site, and she'll have inventory that's available right there, as well as the opportunity to be able to reach out and contact her. If you are looking for specific colors, because you have a wedding coming up, or you have an event coming up, maybe we have people that are doing 50 reunions, 30-year reunions, 40-year reunions. What a unique anniversary gift, right? To be able to tie in some of those, maybe their favorite shirt. I know as weird as it is, I actually just got rid of, and if I could have found a way to save it, I would have. I had a shirt that it was the very first blouse shirt that I had bought with my very first credit card. So I was 15 at the time, and you guys think, oh my word, what a weirdo. But for me, it was a big deal. And I immediately went downstairs and paid that credit card off as soon as I did it. But it was the fact that I bought this with my own, and it was a big deal for me. And it was a cool shirt. I liked it. I loved it. I literally just got rid of it. I could still wear it, but it was frayed and it was yellowing in places. And I'm like, I'm probably never going to wear it again. I should just have it stop taking up space. But if I could have found a way to reuse that, that would have been amazing.
Well, I even have a girl who gave me, there is these like 2 shirts that he's her fiance now. They're getting married. So that's exciting. But I guess he had bought them for her as like a gift. And so she was really excited about them, but like she doesn't like how the material feels on her skin, but they're really pretty. And then like this old pair of jeans that she has memories in, she gave me this stack of them. She's like, hey, can you make me one of your denim purses and maybe line it with this and use the lace here? And so I'm making like that for her. And I would totally be happy to figure out how to work that out. Where like, you guys ship me your memorable clothes and I'll make you a purse out of it, kind of thing.
Exactly. But the other thing that she does is alterations. And the key part about this that I want to mention is, how many times do we go out dress shopping for a special event and nothing fits, or it's outrageously priced and it's just absolutely ridiculous? What people don't know is that you can go to places like, for instance, the Goodwill or Value Village or some of the consignment shops, find a dress but more than likely, again, it won't fit necessarily.
Or maybe it needs a little updating. Maybe you love the color, but it's a little like the style's a little dated. Yeah.
So what you can do is you really love this color dress, or you really love this style, but it needs something, you don't know what. You can bring that to Grace. She'll work with you, work with your particular shape, style, whatever vision you have, and she'll help you not just design it, but create it with her alteration skills and whatnot. And that's how my wedding dress was. I never even tried my wedding dress on.
Nope.
It was on sale. It was on the rack. I made my sister try it on. It looked great on her. I'm like, that's the one. It didn't look at all the same on me. I guarantee it. Because then we had to alter it down to my size. And so it totally changed the look, right?
Oh, it
so if I would have spent a little bit more time and effort, I would have completely changed how that looked. But at the end of the day, that wasn't a big priority for me. Everybody has different priorities and different goals. And so do I expect my daughter to wear this dress? No. She probably doesn't even think it's that pretty, right? But she may want parts of it. She may want a piece of it. She may want this, or she might want this, and she can incorporate it in that. And so somebody like Grace is a huge resource in our area to be able to do that. And so if you're looking for something like that, even just simple alterations to jeans or things like that, you can contact her. What is the best phone number to contact you at?
So 425-905-0529. If you call that like anytime between like 9 and 5, I will answer.
All right. So if you want, give her a call. She'll be happy to go through that with you. Or go to her website and check out some of her designs and things that are there. Get some of those thoughts in mind. You guys know what events that you have coming up. Remember, if you want to go have a good time, go to the Raw Artists event. You saw the link on there. We'll put it down here below again. Click on that, get tickets. It's going to be a great night for you to go explore, see some different ideas, get some different thoughts, but also meet some of these artists that are creating it. Meet people like Grace that have a passion for this, and they're doing something great within our community, and understand, wow, I can serve. I don't just have to have a consumer mindset. I can actually help our community by supporting people like you in our community, and have some great memories and things with it, and have something of value and purpose there. So man, that's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so excited you could be with us today. I know it's been a while. We haven't always been able to connect. We're busy. She's busy getting married, go figure, you know. So I'm so thankful you could be here, and I'm thankful you reached out to me, because like I said, I didn't know anything about the Raw Artists, and if I was in town, I would be there in a heartbeat, because that sounds like it's going to be such a cool event. So it's not your typical craft fair. So come down to the show, come see here. If you're not able to make the show, go to her site. The site has inventory on there, but if you're finding something that you're looking for, but it's not quite, just call. She's happy to work with you.
Like you see some stuff that you're like, oh, I really like those more like gypsy style clasp bags you've got, but maybe like purple and yellow and red or whatever are not your colors. Like maybe you want one in like blue, like there's a message spot where you can send me a message and be like, hey, this is my favorite color, and I can be like, hey, like the fabrics I have in those colors, what do you want? And like I will make you a bag. I have no problem doing that.
That's awesome. That is absolutely fantastic. So check it out. Check out her site. We look forward to celebrating with you guys again, and looking forward to new and exciting things from Grace. We're ecstatic to see what this next year is going to hold for her as her business continues to grow and expand. She's got all kinds of opportunities lined up already, and ways that she's going to streamline that expansion so that she can continue to scale and grow her business. And we're so excited for you and to see that happen. So we'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next Win Wednesday. Have a great day. Bye for now.